Okay, so all of you, now the topic is very, very interesting and it's related to your own India, and it is going to be rich India and poor India. Okay, so here how would you to start a group discussion is the similar way that you have to speak that good morning everyone, you have to address each one of you, and then you have to introduce the topic. That today's topic of group discussion is rich India, poor India. Then you will discuss one liner, some kind of, you can say, introductory part. We know that India has showing been really number of phases we have come through. Like you can say the beautiful part of India is that it is progressive, or you can come, it has become in the top 5 index of the economic countries. The worst part is that, yeah, the poor India, because many of the people, they are under the poverty line. We are approximately at the position of, I think, 111th or something, more than it's 110 in the poverty index. So now poverty index, you can say our position is rising and we have number of poor people. But the rich, they are making the progression and we are making number of developments also. We are, you can say, spending a huge amount of money on the nuclear invasions, on the nuclear participation. But the poverty line and the poor people, they have lots of ill impacts for them, right? So there the topic actually starts. It is rich India and poor India, and you have to take a side. You have to speak on your own perspectives related to it. You will have approximately 3 minutes to think about the topic. It's 1:42 by my side. At 1:45, we are going to start the topic. Introduction will be done by Ayush. Conclusion will be done by Suresh. That is fine. Okay. So,
Yes, ma'am.
and it should be a very good introduction. Whenever you're conversing in between with one another, you have to say, okay, I support Nishant. I do not agree with you, Suresh. I agree with you, Dheeraj. Some kind of such liners are very much required. Okay, fine.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
go ahead, guys. 3 minutes for all of you. I think it's 1:45 now. We can start with the discussion. Nishant and Suresh, you can switch on your videos. Okay, Suresh, you're there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So, Ayush, just start with the topic now.
Yes, ma'am. So, hello everyone. I am glad to start this group discussion, and today the topic of discussion is rich India versus and poor India. So, I think this topic is very interesting, where we have to discuss about the various dimensions in which our country is rich and poor also. So we know that in past our country was the richest country in the world for long time, but due to colonization, it was thrown into the league of the poorest nation. But now again our country is rising on its feet and showing a tremendous growth. And today we are the fifth largest economy in the world. And we hope after 2030 we will become the third largest economy. So with this, I want all of you to put your perspective, and with this, let's start this discussion.
Yes, Ayush, I agree with your point that there was a time in history that India was among the richest countries in the world. But if you look at the today, India, some part of India or some people in India are the richest, and we can't go away that there is a very intense poverty in India as well. So we have to analyze these points, then one point that can why this situation is there in India, तो हम ये बोल सकते हैं कि जो coastal states है जहाँ पर इंपोर्ट और एक्सपोर्ट का ज्यादा एक्सपोजर रहता है वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज के साथ, तो वहां पर जो है वो पीपल्स आर हैविंग गुड इकोनॉमिक कंडीशन, बट द नॉर्थ ईस्ट स्टेट्स वेयर एक्सपोर्ट और इंपोर्ट का चांसेस कम रहता है, तो वहां पर लोगों की एम्प्लॉयमेंट की पॉसिबिलिटी भी ज्यादा रहती है और लोग क्या क्या ज्यादा इकोनॉमिकली स्टेबल भी नहीं है। तो ये एक पॉइंट भी हो सकता है कि जो वजह बनी है कि इंडिया में कुछ लोग है जो ज्यादा रिच है और अमीर है, और कुछ स्टेट्स में या कुछ लोग जो है वो बिलो पॉवर्टी लाइन में भी है। This can be the one point for this I want to put. And another one point is that the government is doing very taking very well initiative for the upliftment of the people, such as the reservation was the one point for the betterment of the society, or for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes and other backward classes categories. The reservation was the one point was taken by the government for the upliftment and ensuring the better economical conditions of the peoples who are not in the good economic conditions. And we also have to increase the entrepreneurship journey in the India, so that the lots of the people can come to the richer categories.
आई ऑल्सो एग्री विद यू सुरेश। अगर हम स्टेक आउट साइड देखें कि इंडिया सिर्फ इकोनॉमिक की रिच नहीं है, अगर हम और चीज देखें जैसे इंडिया की जो ज्योग्राफिक लोकेशन है ये इससे रिच बताते हैं इसके फ्लोरा और फना में। अगर हम देखते हैं कि इसकी ज्योग्राफिक लोकेशन इस तरह से है कि जहाँ पर बहुत सारी प्लांट की वैरायटी है जो इंडिया में ही मिलती है, जो नेटिव टू इंडिया, ऐसे बहुत सारे एनिमल्स में जो इससे बहुत रिच बनाते हैं इन टर्म्स ऑफ फ्लोरा एंड फना। एक पॉइंट ये भी हो सकता है।
I think that India is not only rich in monetary basis, but also rich in culture. So India has a wide variety of people from different backgrounds, of different parts of the country, and different religions. I think India is a great country, but when we consider poverty and richness at the same time, we see that India has landed on the south pole of moon. India is the fourth largest economy of the world right now, and it aims to be a $5 trillion economy by 2030. But we also see that India was ranked 111th in 125 countries in World Hunger Index. So there are regions where we need to work on. We need to solve this problem.
Yes, Ajay, I agree with you. Like still the per capita income of our country is very low compared to the developed nation. So yes, so there are many poor people whose income is very low, like 300 or 400 per day, which is just barely minimum to survive their livelihood. So I think there we have to increase their per capita income, and there is a huge margin between the per capita income of our nation and developed nation. So there we have to focus, and if we will focus, then we can be the we can say by 2047 we can be the second largest economy or maybe first largest economy in the world.
हम इसकी एक साइड और देखें कि जिसमें हम देखें जहाँ पे इंडिया लैग कर रहा है, यहाँ पे जहाँ पे इंडिया पुअर है वो एक है मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर, कि मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर में अभी इंडिया काफी पीछे है और कंट्रियों से, लेकिन धीरे धीरे गवर्नमेंट के इनिशिएटिव से ये चीज बदल रही है। जैसे हम देखते हैं बहुत सारी कंपनियों ने चाइना से शिफ्ट करा इंडिया में, जो कि इंडिया के मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर को बूस्ट कर रहा है। तो ये भी एक है जहाँ पे लैग है, लेकिन इंडिया इज डूइंग ग्रेट इन दिस फील्ड आल्सो with the passage of time.
I think like there is a vast difference between the poor and the rich. Like India's around 90% of the wealth is around for the 10% of the people. Like,
no, I think Nishant, more than 95% of the wealth is in hand of only less than 1% of the people in our nation.
Yeah. So like there should be policies like there should be like a channel like to the money should flow around in all sectors, like from richest to poor. Like like government policy should not be like providing free money or providing free rations. Instead, they should provide some like uh, uh, work to the poor, like to provide some loans, like to render some schemes which can, so that they can develop and earn.
Yes, Nishant, actually government is actually working in that field, that government is doing the many schemes where government provides the money to the everyone who is capable of doing the business or generating the employment. So government is doing the initiatives such as Urja Ganga, Atmanirbhar Bharat, Made in India. There are some
Make in India.
initiatives that are taken by the government, and there is the huge startup booms in India after that. So government has done both for everyone who is a citizen of India, whether it is rich or poor. Government has not differentiated on that basis. So government, I think government is working on in that field.
I think the ground reality is different. Like you're saying that there are many yojanas and all that, but the ground reality is different. Like, the main profit that is gained is by the rich people or who are capable, so they can easily get those access to those schemes. But the poor one, those could not get the access to the schemes, are really struggling. And
No, I think
I think because वहाँ पे एक
I think
डिजिटल डिवाइड है जो काफी ज्यादा है इंडिया में, जो एक डिजिटल डिवाइड वो काफी ज्यादा है कि जो शहर में लोग हैं उनके पास तो इंटरनेट की फैसिलिटीज हैं, लेकिन जब हम टायर 2 या टायर 3 सिटी देखें, जो हमारे विलेज है वहाँ पे इंटरनेट की कनेक्टिविटी भी इतनी अच्छी नहीं है, जिससे जो डिजिटल डिवाइड बढ़ता जा रहा है। और आजकल के समय में इंटरनेट बहुत बहुत नेसेसरी चीज बन गई है आपके ग्रोथ के लिए। अगर आप ग्रोथ करें तो इंडिया भी ग्रो करेगा। मुझे लगता है
Also,
इंडिया
yes, there is
Yes,
also due to colonization and politics. Also, some part of India is still very poor. Like we can see UP, Bihar, Jharkhand, and Northeast also. From the colonization, they were poor, and now also the per capita income is not increased that much. So the politics is also prohibiting them to grow. So we think the government have to make sure that all part of our country have the opportunity to grow equally.
Yes, I think
it's like the poverty is mainly in the rural areas. Apart from like in urban areas, people can get access to the schemes, but in rural areas, people are uneducated. So the main reason is that they are uneducated, so they cannot get access to the schemes. Secondly, there is not awareness about the plans. Like there are many regions in our country, like which are like tribal regions, and the regions where the facilities are not there, and connectivity is also not there, internet is not there, roads are not there. So I think that is the main reason, like they cannot get access to those schemes.
Yeah, I think the needs one require for a proper growth is like education, like a proper transportation connectivity. So these are very fundamental things which lack in certain part of the country. But the government has taken many initiatives in that respect. Like many meetings of G20 were held in the Northeast to promote the tourism over there, and the culture of that place is very like diverse. So people get to know about that on the global level, and the tourism increases. These things will help us to reduce poverty and like increase the per capita income by tourism and other means.
I think one part where our country is rich is that we have a very vast literature and a rich heritage. So by this we can promote tourism. So government have to take proper action so that the tourism can be boosted, and many people who don't know about India and its rich legacy can come and see how rich is India right now also.
Also, secondly,
and I think one field in which the India is poor is that in the field that giving the employment to the youth. कि हम देख सकते हैं कि यूथ के पास भी जॉब नहीं है, तो ये काफी एक पुअर साइड इंडिया कि अपने यूथ को जॉब नहीं दे पा रहा कि इंडिया इज नाउ द इधर यहाँ पे यूथ सबसे ज्यादा पॉपुलेशन इंडिया की, तो उसके बाद काफी एनर्जी का भी यूथ पावर है। तो अगर इंडिया उस यूथ पावर को यूटिलाइज नहीं करेगा अच्छे चैनल के थ्रू, तो काफी डिवास्टेटिंग हो सकता है इंडिया के लिए। तो
हम ये भी कर सकते हैं कि इंडिया में जो है यूथ को जॉब्स नहीं मिल रहे। इसका एक रीजन ये है भी कि जो इंडियन यूथ है जो स्किल्स में लैगिंग कर रहा है, और उसका जो पहला रीजन जो ये हो सकता है कि नॉट अ गुड क्वालिटी ऑफ द कॉलेजेस, बिकॉज इफ यू आर लुक एट द IITs, दे आर वेरी गुड इन देयर स्किल्स एंड दे आर गेटिंग द जॉब्स एट विथ वेरी गुड सैलरीज। सो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट हैज टू स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को क्या करना चाहिए, जो इनके अंडर जो कॉलेजेस आते हैं स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स के अंदर, वहां पर क्वालिटी ऑफ एजुकेशन को इंश्योर करना चाहिए, जो कि स्किल एनहांसमेंट में काम मदद करेगा। अगर स्टूडेंट्स में स्किल इनहांसमेंट होगा तो ऑटोमेटिकली उनको जॉब मिल जाएगा, और ये एक इंडिया के प्रोस्पेरिटी के लिए एक बहुत अच्छा सा
Yes,
मीडियम बन
Suresh,
सकता है।
इसमें
like
इसमें
I was
काफी अच्छा काम
Dheeraj,
गवर्नमेंट
yes.
सरकार ने ये भी करा है कि उन्होंने स्किल इंडिया प्रोग्राम भी लॉन्च करा है कि जो यूथ को स्किल कर सकते हैं इन पर्टिकुलर फील्ड, ताकि वो अब जॉब ले सकें। और हमें इसी चीज को उन्होंने न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में भी ऐड करा है कि जो भी कि बच्चे हैं अपनी स्कूल की स्टार्टिंग से ही कुछ ना कुछ स्किल को अचीव कर सकें या परस्यू कर सकें, ताकि उन्हें फ्यूचर में जाके जॉब ढूंढने में इतनी परेशानी ना हो।
I was reading one report, Dheeraj. There they have shown
Hmm.
that the lots of population in our country lie just above the poverty line. So in the COVID pandemic, due to the impact of COVID, the number of amount the number of people who are just above the poverty line goes below the poverty line, and it increased lots of poverty in our country. So there we have to uplift the income the income of the people who are just above the poverty line. So yes, so their
And
government have to
Ayush,
take
another
more
one
action.
point that I want to
Yes.
add your point is that yes, India is large number of people are below the poverty lines, and if Indian government is only working on this project, then it will take very last time. So we can invite the foreign investor, we can give the concessions and subsidies to the foreign investor. So for the setting of the manufacturing plants, as the Dheeraj has said that India is very lagging at the manufacturing plant. For the manufacturing plant, like Tesla is coming to the India for setting up their new plants, and we can invite other investors or other companies for the production units in India. This can be the one good
Yes.
method.
Also in sports, our country is not good right now. Like our country is poor. Like we see the developed nation got so many medals in Olympics and other games also. But for India, with such a large population, but still we got few medals. So there we have to do lots of improvement. Also, we have to promote sports, and we can show that the growing India can also can be reached in sports also.
Yeah, I think that India has potential in every field, but what we lack is we lack the basic infrastructure to harness those skills and convert it into an output. So as we see, like there is a data which shows that out of 25 unicorns which were born after 2000, like 19 of them were of Indian origin.
Yes.
That shows that Indians have potential. So if they have given an opportunity to deliver based on their skill set, they have the proper guidance, they can definitely become the richest from like the poor state they are in right now.
Yes, and the prediction are showing that our yes.
Stan, I think we have done it more than 10 minutes. We were less in number, so we have done a short one. And the thing which I saw is that there was some kind of a repetition in content. Okay, so first let's go for the conclusion, and then I'm going to provide you the feedback. Suresh, you are to provide the conclusion, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead with the conclusion.
So thank you everyone for being the part of this beautiful discussion, and I take this opportunity to conclude the points that we have discussed through this discussion. I think that we had a very good discussion, and we are able to discuss both the points, that why India is rich and why some people are rich and why the most of the people are the below poverty line. And there are the different regions, as we have discussed. Colonization, before the colonization, India was in very prosperous state. After the colonization, there is a lot of poverty that is created in the India. And for coming out of these states, as we have discussed, that Indian youth and Indian society is having the very high potential, but we are failing at the infrastructure, and we are failing at the opportunities and skill sets that Indian youth should have. And we have discussed about in terms of monetary, but we have to look at the richness of the India in terms of the cultures, in terms of diversity. We have to utilize the diversified natures of the India. And another some point that some states in India are having very good economical condition, and this is because of the states have the import and export exposure to the western countries, and some northeast states are not having that exposure to the western countries, and these states are failing in the manufacturing at the manufacturing level. So I think that this Indian government is, which we have discussed, that Indian government is doing various initiatives such as Atmanirbhar Bharat, Made in India, and there are another schemes that that will help for the ending up with the poverty in India. But the important thing is that we have to spread the awareness about this about these schemes and yojana. Thank you.
Okay, fine. So first of all, was it a tough topic or an easy one?
Ma'am, it was different topic, so we never
Different
thought of
topic.
it.
You know, this topic could be asked in multiple ways. I asked you Rich India, Poor India, right? From the novel, if you have heard Rich Dad, Poor Dad, something like that. It's a novel also, right? There is
Yes, ma'am.
another dimension of asking the same topic, that India is progressing and it has come towards the first 5 economic this developed countries. But still we are having severe poverty index. What can be the reasons, right? So this topic can come in that domain also. I try to cover a topic which can be asked in multiple aspects. And this is a very, you can say, crucial point, which is still into run. Many of you were not aware about this topic and you are not practiced it out. See, when you remember
Yes,
the last time we had a discussion, I think Ayush was there, Dheeraj was there. I try to give you dimensions of those topics. And similar way, I'm going to provide you the dimensions. It will be uploaded by next week on YouTube. You will have the video also, and even in the groups, so that you can watch all the series, like what you have to target. Whenever India comes, the word India comes for you, what you have to target is like rural, urban. You know, you were getting the pointers, but the pointers were not very good for you. आपको याद बहुत धीरे-धीरे से आ रहे थे. रूरल इंडिया के टारगेट करते हैं, अर्बन को टारगेट करते हैं, एम्प्लॉयमेंट को टारगेट करना. सबसे ज्यादा इंडिया का क्या इशू चलता है? पॉपुलेशन बहुत ज्यादा है, एम्प्लॉयमेंट बहुत कम है.
Employment कम है. Yes,
बहुत
ma'am.
अपॉर्चुनिटीज कम है एम्प्लॉयमेंट को. आप लोगों को अभी कोविड से भी वो वी हैव जस्ट पास फ्रॉम कोविड, हेल्थ के बेसिस पे कितना लैक आया था हमें. इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर था हमारे पास हेल्थ का. जो पॉइंटर्स होते हैं, दीज आर द डायमेंशंस जो आपको नोट करके रखने पड़ते हैं. इन डायमेंशंस का अगर 10-15 डायमेंशंस को याद कर लोगे, हर एक के पास 3-3 टॉप पॉइंट्स तो मिनिमम बच जाते हैं. That video will be with the steps of doing a GD. क्या क्या स्टेप्स हैं, इंट्रोड्यूस कैसे करना है, कंक्लूड क्या करना है, डायमेंशंस क्या क्या लेने हैं, कभी भी कोई टॉपिक चलता है. अभी प्रिपेयर्ड नहीं था अच्छे से, बट द बेस्ट वाज आई थिंक आयुष. आर यू देयर?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Ayush जब start किया था introduction, so the introduction could have a very beautiful, you can say, the introductory line could be related to India. The way Ajay did in the center, that was India is known for its well-cultured diversity, or India is known for its diversity. Maybe it is religion, pollution everywhere. We are growing in multiple ways. We have grown a lot also, but still India is a developing country. It is not developed. इसीलिए हम बहुत चीजों में lack भी करते हैं. And this is our point of concern, that where the rich is progressing rich, poor is becoming more poor. We have to discuss about it, like how India is rich India and poor India, the two beautiful parts of India, right? So one is the beautiful one, rich India, and another is where the people are suffering from extreme poverty, hunger index. And we see that there is a massive, you can say, during COVID times, we have a kind of a situation. People were rushing back to their homes and they had nothing to eat. Many suicidal cases are being done because they are not able to serve their family. So this is a crisp introduction which you have, and it's a very beautiful one. You could make it's your own country. Conclusion में सुरेश जैसे बोल रहे थे, वही कोट करना. India is still into development. We have to reach number of steps. We are making wonders in multiple dimensions. Maybe it's going to be your this we see in it out missiles. Maybe उसने कितना impact किया है. अभी हमने वो बात करनी थी, जैसे we were the first ones, जैसे आप लोगों ने बात की is footsteps रखे South Pole पे, and there are number of Aditya was launched and lots of other things we have done, but still there are some ways that yes, hunger is something which is still into consideration, and yes, we are so sure that sooner India will improve all these aspects, and you have to give a positive ending towards it. कि India sooner will become and will all the improve all the disqualities जो भी problems हैं इंडिया में, lapses हैं, और sooner क्या बन जाएगी इंडिया, developed country बन जाएगी. क्लियर? तो वही चीज है. इंट्रोडक्शन कंक्लूजन बहुत अच्छा हो सकता था, बहुत एवरेज था. सबसे अच्छी पार्टिसिपेशन आज जो थी दैट वाज ऑफ अजय. अजय, दो यू डू नॉट अटेंड नंबर ऑफ जीडीज, आई डोंट थिंक सो, यू आर वेरी रेगुलर इन जीडी. First GD, right? So what is good point in it is the way you speak, your points were justifying. You started with the point that was about the introductory, जो introduction में होना चाहिए था. We are not only about the monetary, we are targeting about the culture, rich, religion, poverty. ये सारी चीजें भी आ रही हैं. और एक चीज याद रखा करो, जीपी में एक टाइम पे एक पॉइंट. तुम लोग सभी क्या गलती कर रहे थे, साथ में पॉजिटिव दे रहे हो, साथ में नेगेटिव दे रहे हो. तुम पहले रिच इंडिया की बात करो, then you could discuss about the poor India. One of you would come about, now let's talk about the poor dimension. We being the youth have to discuss the severe concern, why India is still lacking, why its power index is so much into the lapses are there. Then one could have discussed. निशांत का मुझे गलत इसलिए लगा, निशांत व्हेन यू एंटर्ड फर्स्ट पॉइंट जो दिया था सीधे पॉलिसीज पे आ गए। डिस्कशन अभी चल रही है रूट कॉज पे, तो रूट कॉजेस को टारगेट करो। जब रूट कॉज की डिस्कशन खत्म हो जाए, लगता है कि हाँ हमें कुछ और पॉइंट नहीं मिल रहा, तो you could say at the, you can say very closer to the conclusion, you could have told, yeah, I think we have to meet with certain challenges, like how we have to overcome it out, कैसे हम ओवरकम कर सकते हैं, what are the steps which government is taking, policies क्या क्या बना रही है, ठीक है, वो चीजें आप टारगेट कर सकते थे वहां से। It's first one of you both, I think Ajay and Nishan, you need to improve in both the specs is content. अजय का कंटेंट अच्छा था, पर he was not aware कि कितने कितने पॉइंट बोलने होते हैं, दो थे, वो नहीं करना। धीरज बीच में वो एनिमल्स, फौना, फ्लोरा, वो थोड़ा डिफरेंट हो गया पॉइंट, ठीक है, बिल्कुल स्टार्ट जब किया वो नेसेसिटी नहीं थी। उससे पहले जब आप डाइग्रेशन से पहले आपने कल्चर उन चीजों के बारे में बात कर रहे थे, पहले बाद में फौना फ्लोरा आ गया ना, ठीक है, और एंडेंजर्ड एक्सटेंट एक्सटेंट कितने वो तो बोल ही नहीं सकते, तो हम बहुत चीजों में लैक भी कर रहे हैं, उसको मत लाओ, ठीक है, वो पॉइंट अच्छा नहीं था। और बाद में आप मैन्युफैक्चरिंग साइकिल आपने 2-3 बार बोला, आई थिंक, है ना, इंडिया होस्ट कर रहा है, वो पॉइंट ठीक था मैन्युफैक्चरिंग का, बट स्टिल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में भी अभी हब बनने की कोशिश कर रहा है।
Yes, ma'am.
It is not into that, but it's still trying its best. So आप इंडिया, where India is actually trying, उसको आप काउंटर पुअर इंडिया में नहीं कर सकते। हाँ, रिच में you can speak it out कि we are entering different domains, आप कुछ सर्कुलेशंस कर सकते थे, कुछ ऐसे चीजें कर सकते थे, बट बेसिक आपको इंडेक्स सबका रैंक इंडिया का वो सारा याद करना पड़ेगा, कुछ फैक्ट्स याद रखो ताकि ये टॉपिक किसी भी कैटेगरी में आए तो आपको याद हो, ठीक है। उसके बाद आई थिंक आयुष का जैसे पॉइंट है, स्टिल पर कैपिटा इनकम बहुत लो है, मेनी पुअर पीपल आर सफरिंग, वो ठीक था। इंट्रोडक्शन बहुत एवरेज थी आयुष, पॉइंट्स नहीं थे अच्छे।
मैम बहुत वास्ट टॉपिक था ना, समझ नहीं आ रहा था कैसे बोले इस पे।
That is why I took it out. थोड़ा टफ टॉपिक्स भी करने पड़ेंगे, we cannot go always with an easy one,
यस मैम। इन स्टार्टिंग में भी मुझे लगा कि एक पास्ट हिस्ट्री बता दो इंडिया का, और फिर अभी जो सिचुएशन है, तो मैंने वो इससे स्टार्ट किया था
वो भी सिचुएशन आप बीच में टारगेट कर सकते। देखो बिल्कुल इंट्रोड्यूस करना तो ये बताओगे ब्यूटीफुल पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया एंड द वर्स्ट पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया। इंट्रोडक्शन शुड बी, आई टोल्ड यू, वेरी न्यूट्रल वन, कंफ्यूजन शुड बी अ न्यूट्रल वन, दोनों बैलेंस करके चलना है। और उसमें मैंने तुम्हें अभी बस फैक्ट्स बताया, और आई थिंक सुरेश द वे यू स्टार्टेड, है ना, इंट्रोडक्शन किया था, पावर्टी गवर्नमेंट क्या कर रही है, इंट्रोडक्शन में बहुत, मतलब द फर्स्ट लाइनर वाज वेरी गुड, ठीक है, इट वाज कि आपका कॉन्फिडेंस अच्छा था, बट कंटेंट सुरेश अच्छा नहीं था, कंटेंट वाज एन एवरेज वन। कंटेंट में सीधा गवर्नमेंट क्या कर रही है वो चैलेंजेस मीट करने की जरूरत नहीं थी। मैं वही बोलू ना, जहां पे सरकार का आ जाए, सरकार क्या कर रही है वो एंड के पास डाला करो, क्योंकि वो पता है कि वो लास्ट पॉइंट्स होते हैं, हम क्या कर रहे हैं, सरकार क्या कर रही है, यूथ क्या कर रहा है आज का, ठीक है, वो बचाने के लिए आ जाता है। ये होते हैं फ्री एंड टॉपिक्स, ठीक है, जो फ्री एंड टॉपिक्स होते हैं। मैंने इसमें ये तो नहीं दिया challenges which are being faced, मैं तो कुछ नहीं बोला, how to overcome the challenges, मैंने तुम्हें किसी टॉपिक पे बांधा नहीं था, मैंने तुम्हें टॉपिक दिया था, जो मर्जी सोचो, जो मर्जी पॉइंट लगता है बोलो, पर जब भी तुम challenges, गवर्नमेंट क्या कर रही है, इसको जब भी आपने इंट्रोड्यूस करना है, you have to speak. Now I think I want to bring a new dimension towards the topic, and that is how government is doing, या फिर what are the steps which are being taken by the government. फिर सारे लोग गवर्नमेंट पे डिस्कस करना शुरू करें। जब भी कोई डिफरेंट पॉइंट डालना है, आई वांट टू ऐड अ न्यू डायमेंशन, ये चीजें सीखनी पड़ेंगी, ठीक है, बिल्कुल स्टार्ट में नहीं बोलो। आई थिंक मेनी ऑफ यू नीड दैट थिंग कि जहां पे आपको सारे डायमेंशंस लिखे मिल जाएं, तो मैं आपको बाय नेक्स्ट वीक यू विल हैव द वीडियो आल्सो अपलोडेड, वो आप देख लेना अच्छे से, स्टेप्स क्या क्या होते हैं, क्या क्या लाइंस होती हैं, और डायमेंशंस किसमें क्या क्या लेने हैं, वो एक बार अच्छे से याद कर लेना। दैट दोस आर अप्रोक्सीमेटली 10 to 15 डायमेंशंस हैं नॉर्मली, आई थिंक उनको टारगेट कर लेना, वो डायमेंशन से याद कर लिया करो, ताकि एट द एंड 3-4 points should be the quality ones. That's it. Okay, Nishant, participate. Who's there? Krish.
मैम वो कंक्लूजन का आप अगर थोड़ा बता दें, इस टॉपिक को कैसे कंक्लूड किया जा सकता है?
Conclusion I told you, so you could say it out that we had a very fruitful discussion, and every person tried to give a number of aspects that how India has become a great, rich in diversity and getting lots of, you can say, progression also. But on the other side, we have already discussed that what are the various, or you can say, the factors which are impacting, which is still India is not able to grow to the efficient level. So we have discussed number of dimensions over there. We being the youth of country, or you can say youth of India, we need to circulate how we can meet the challenges and number of steps. यहाँ पे बोल सकते थे number of steps are being taken by the government, and youth is also awareness हम बहुत ज़्यादा spread कर रहे हैं, and sooner we are aware that one day India will be able to meet all these, overcome the steps, and India will become a developed country, and we are searching into this. मतलब आप समझ गए positive ending. पहले बता दिया क्या किया हमने डिस्कस, आपने फ्रूटफुल वर्ड बोलो, फ्रूटफुल डिस्कशन, इंटरैक्टिव डिस्कशन, इट वाज फुल ऑफ यू कैन से गुड पॉइंटर्स, कुछ इस तरह के. गुड डिस्कशन मत बोला करो. गुड डिस्कशन इज अ वेरी एवरेज पॉइंट, लाइक ओके वी हैड अ वेरी गुड डिस्कशन, वी गेव. इस तरह से नहीं स्टार्ट करना. मैं वर्ड्स दे दूंगी आपको कि कौन कौन से वर्ड्स यूज कर सकते हो, ठीक है. तो वो इस तरह से आपको कंक्लूड करना है. ये टॉपिक और जो हमने कल किया था ईवी व्हीकल्स का डिसएडवांटेज, ठीक है, एंड दिस वन, ये दोबारा प्रैक्टिस करना, बिकॉज यू वर नॉट गुड इनटू दिस टॉपिक. ज्यादा नंबर ऑफ पीपल, वी विल हैव दिस टॉपिक अगेन, एंड दिस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. आई एम गोइंग टू टेक दिस टॉपिक अगेन वेरी सून, मे बी नेक्स्ट वीक ओनली. सो 1-2 दिन के गैप में मैं ये दोबारा टॉपिक लूंगी. टिल देन यू हैव टू प्रिपेयर दिस टॉपिक. क्लियर? ओके, यू just keep on preparing, and that's what I say. Yeah.
Ma'am, can you schedule that in the night, in the evening times?
Yeah,
like
yeah, they're always, yeah. There will be tomorrow in the evening will be there also, and we have normally we take 2 series. One is in the evening and one is in the morning. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So be comfortable in your space. But even if you miss a GD, do listen it out. You get a topic. Topic से खुद बनाने के points बनाने की कोशिश करा करो. The more pointers you speak, the more it will be efficient for you कि कैसे GD करनी है. कोई भी GD miss मत करा करो. ठीक है? Clear? Tomorrow again we will have. Tomorrow I'll do it in the evening. Fine?
Yes,
Okay, guys.
Yes,